Hello everyone, welcome to Reacting Reddit, where real humans read, respond, and react to Reddit stuff, adding their own thoughts as well. Today I picked the topic, screw motivation, what you need is discipline, in the line of Friday motivation. A lot of people kind of struggle, particularly with Mondays, apparently also with Fridays, because Friday motivation is a trend. So, let's try and figure out how to bring you guys some motivation along the lines of screw motivation, focus on discipline. Let's see what these people have to say. This reply is, yeah, I feel so motivated now to become disciplined. Great reading. So these are replies to a long post that's a guide. So we're going to develop a sense of what that guide said by looking at the responses that people have to it. If it's as much motivation as the act of celebrating before you've done anything, then your brain confuses it with success and gives up after a short burst of energy. Okay, let me reread this, because this original poster seems to kind of know what they're talking about regarding discipline and motivation. It's as if motivation is the act of celebrating before you've done anything. Then your brain confuses it with success and gives up after a short burst of energy. Ah, I get it. So he's saying you can be incredibly motivated, but if you don't have discipline, then you're not going to get anything done, basically. Because if you're really motivated, you're going to try and start things, but if you don't have discipline, you're not going to continue the things that you start. Oh, here we go. This is a great post by Kaeltro. I say great because it's long. Long is great in my mind. Bangs its mom and eats its lunch. You put that in there specifically to make sure people were paying attention, didn't you? That aside, this was a fantastic read. I had an experience just like the one you described this afternoon. See, I take Digital Tutors courses, and I've been treating them as actual classes. Notes, quizzes, practice work, and homework. The whole shebang. Normally, I'm doing the classes before the room wakes up, or roommates wake up, but recently, they've brought home a little rat dog, and one of them constantly babies the thing, and scolds it when it does something bad. Pretty much every 10 minutes if it gets yelled at. And the other usually comes home drunk, and they both fight during the nighttime. If I weren't working 2 jobs and paying off loans, I'd have left a long time ago. But anyway, I digress. As you can imagine, a work environment like that is very difficult to be productive, and it's difficult to find the energy when you know you're going to be working in X hours and it takes Y hours to get Z classes done. Today, I didn't want to push myself. I didn't want to animate or do anything. I just wanted to watch YouTube and drown them out, but I didn't. That was when I realized I didn't need to be in a good mood to animate. If I can do my animation while constant dog coddling and yelling is going on, and belligerent rantings of an alcoholic at night, my animating doesn't come from how I feel, but what I know needs to be done. And this part of the course needed to be done. I wasn't going to go to work without doing something for my class homework. Huh. That's cool. It really is, so I'll touch on this for a bit because for me personally, I have to deal with motivation and stuff a lot because I'm self-employed, I work for myself. There's absolutely nobody telling me what I should do. There's no pressure from anyone else about what I need to do. Unless I've decided to work with that person and have that person in my life. And basically what I've found is that I have to focus on kind of things I can do with a team of people, because I'll sometimes lack the diligence to get things done for myself. But when I know that there's other people counting on me and relying on me, I become much more diligent. So for me, that's kind of the secret, is how do I basically, like, if I say to myself, oh, I'm going to do this every day, I probably won't do it. But if I write it on the wall and I tell my friend, yo, I'm going to do this every day, and then I wake up and I see it and I remember I told my friends, and if I don't do it, I'm going to let them down, that works really, really well for me personally. Also, understanding that in the first hour or two of the day, I don't feel excitement about anything. Even the most exciting thing to me, the thing that I think is the biggest opportunity for me, if I try and think about that in the first hour or two in the day, I'm gonna feel like it's a failure, feel like it's not gonna work. So I've learned through years of repetition that I need to ignore the emotions I feel when I first wake up, because I'm gonna feel hopeless and bored about everything, and all I'm gonna wanna care about is sleep. And by not thinking about the stuff I need to do until I'm out of that period, then when I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I love this, I'm excited, I want to do it. So it's a lot of life, for me at least, is about tricking myself into being more productive and more motivated, if that makes sense. I'm a pretty motivated person, but I'm not always a disciplined person. I have the ability to be disciplined when I'm like trying to impress somebody, or I'm trying to like do something I really enjoy myself, or I'm trying to do something really thoroughly. I can be disciplined, but I have to trick myself into being disciplined to actually do it, if that makes sense. Moving on. All right, this reply by Little Tamale. How do you apply this when your productivity depends on your ability to concentrate, i.e. be in a specific mindset? You trick yourself. So for me, I make these videos, right? And I have to have a lot of energy. I don't just read stuff, I have to react to it, and I have to let it inspire things in myself, and I have to talk energetically and be really positive and crush negative stuff that I come across and get angry at it, you know? These things all take a lot of work, and I can assure you that every day I'm like, oh, I'm too tired, I'm not in the right mindset to do that, yada, yada, yada. I'm great at coming up with all of these reasons to not even try and make a video. But the reality is, when I sit myself down and do it, it puts me in the mindset. I might not make a great video round one, but making the video, even if I feel tired, puts me in the mindset to then make more. So it's all about tricking myself into getting started and doing it. Because any thought pattern that leads to me not even trying to make a video is an excuse, and it's harming me. So I try and just go with F it, just do it. Who cares? Just do it. Who cares how I feel? Who cares what I think? Just do it. Just do it. And that's the only way I can get stuff done. Because if I rely on my mindset being in a specific place to do work, I think I have to wait until my mindset is like that again. And oftentimes the only way it gets like that is by doing work. So I can't wait for the mindset to work to come when the only thing that brings me the mindset to work is working, right? So that's why I have to trick myself into starting to work when I don't necessarily feel like I want to. And I think that works for most people. It really is about just learning to trick yourself into doing the things that you want to do without forcing yourself to do it directly. Next reply by Amonarthune. Noticing you are in your idling bored state and swapping out of it has seriously helped me a ton. Oh, this is great advice. That's something that helps me a lot as well. Just first off, being aware enough to tell what your states of mind are. If you can do that, that's really powerful, and that means that you're more likely to be more disciplined. Because a lot of people don't pay attention. They just go through their lives constantly reacting to everything in front of them. They get a text, they immediately respond to it. They get a notification, they immediately look at it. Their favorite YouTuber publishes a video, they immediately look at it as soon as they see the notification. And ultimately, their minds end up being controlled by the notifications and stuff on their computer, and they become unable to focus on a specific thing without getting distracted by all of these other notifications and messages and people. And the idle kind of bored state is when you are fully just reacting for hours. You didn't plan on doing what you're doing. You didn't say, oh, I want to read this, I want to talk to that person. You didn't say any of that. You literally just started by responding to a message you got in the moment, and then hours have passed and you're just filling your time with stuff you did in response and reacting. You saw something, maybe you're reading about stuff, which can be good, but if you're just bursting all this stuff to your attention, you're just throwing new things, and you're not making the decision, I'm going to stop for a moment. Now I'm going to decide to do this. I'm going to watch this YouTube video. What you want to be in a position where everything you're doing is something you're doing because you said the words out loud, I am choosing to do this. You would be amazed how unfrequently people actually do stuff that they chose to do. Most of the time, people do stuff that they reacted and kept just randomly reacting to crap, and they ended up doing it. But they didn't decide to do that thing. And if you want to be really productive, or you want to really enjoy things, you have to be like, I am deciding to watch this YouTube video because I want to learn about this, and I love watching these videos, and I'm going to enjoy this. And then after that video, I'm going to take a 5-minute break and walk around my house. That's like what you, ideally every 30 minutes of screen time, you stop the stimulation. When you are constantly looking at a screen for hours and hours and hours, you are burning your brain. You are just constantly stimulating it over and over and over again. You really need to be able to take breaks away from that. It's very, very, very important. So, best of luck, okay? A reply to that comment by noticing you're bored by the original poster. Seriously, even if it's just do the dishes or pick up a sock from the floor, do anything. Yeah. So what works really well for me is like, when I'm at my best, I walk into a room and I do one thing to fix it or to clean it up. Even if I'm not like planning on cleaning or whatever, right? Like I go to the kitchen to make a cup of tea and I do a dish. And hint, hint, doing one dish always ends up being doing more dishes. But you should always tell yourself to just do one dish. Because, I mean, what's intimidating about washing one cup? Or washing a spoon? You could wash one spoon, right? And it's way better to think, okay, I'm going to go wash one spoon, than it is to think, okay, I'm going to do all of my dishes. Because most of the time, when you go and you start washing that one spoon, you're like lost and thinking about things in your head, and before you know it, you've done 4 or 5 dishes. Boom, you tricked yourself. Good job. Moving on. Ooh, longer post by Mr. Daniel Ocean. How do I make... Okay, this is a reply to one of the statements in the original post. And that statement is, how do I make my feelings inconsequential and do the things I consciously want to do without being a little bitch about it? That really hit home. I find myself getting into patterns of intense motivation, but then fizzling out 1 to 3 weeks into the same semester, year, or cycle. What has really helped me is deciding to start small. Instead of eating completely clean and no junk food, I decided to start eating a good breakfast and drink 8 cups of water between each meal. Going to church more frequently is a goal I have as well. I love the teaching, but I find it excruciatingly boring, so I vowed to pay attention to the main sermon and mentally note 3 things I could change. It is the small things that have helped me to overcome the biggest obstacles in my life. This was refreshing to see bright and early this morning. Hell yeah! That's awesome. For me, it's the small things too, so I'm totally on the same page there. I personally haven't found much progress in my life from grandiose concepts of sudden total change. The things that have really helped me are like, what is 5 minutes that I can do every single day that puts me in a better position in the future? That kind of stuff is what really, really, really helped me. I still, to this day, don't have the discipline to work for 5 or 6 hours straight, but I can do anything for 30 minutes or an hour a day. And that's much better than before. So, because really in life, it's not so much about working your ass off or working really hard, because Like, people will say, like, oh yeah, if you work hard, you can get anywhere. And that's not true. People who get what they want don't get there because they worked hard. They get there because they made the right decisions, they met the right people, or they got lucky. Not because they worked hard. Trust me, if you value working hard and you use that as your metric for life, you're going to screw yourself, because it's not hard work that gets people great things. It's being diligent about working effectively. It's about being disciplined, about doing a little bit every single day. You don't have to be disciplined and work hard all day long. You really can change your life by just diligently working for an hour productively. And trust me, there's loads of people in this world who work their asses off. They work way harder than you've ever even dreamed of working, and they get nothing. They barely get enough money to pay for food for their family tomorrow, let alone to retire or provide or pay for something when some medical thing goes wrong. It's a completely different world for them. Trust me, people who work hard often just get effed and die living a life where they didn't have fun, they didn't enjoy things. It's really dangerous to purely value working hard, because it's ignorant to think that hard work is going to get you anywhere. If anything, working hard just means that you end up working hard for other people, and other companies take advantage of your hard work and don't reward you, they don't incentivize you, and they don't put that work into your life. They take that time that you spent and they use it for their own purposes, and you never get it back. So you should be careful about working hard. You need to be working diligently. You need to be working smart. You need to be working passionately. But working hard can be quite dangerous, so be careful. Like a slap in the face. That's so true. All right, everybody. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe and also comment. Let me know what kind of stuff you want read, if there's anything in particular you want me to read, if you want more funny stuff, if you want stuff about jokes, if you want something about entertainment or education, if you want to learn about something, if you want some question about history to be read, let me know. I will read and react to it in my characteristic way. And as always, thanks for watching. We love you. If you guys want to make videos like this, please reach out to us. We are creating software that allows people to explore content on the internet and react and respond to it while recording their screen to make YouTube content. If this is something that's interesting to you, please reach out to us. You can get our email address by our YouTube channel, clicking about, clicking business inquiries, doing a CAPTCHA, and then sending an email saying hello. We want to have a Zoom call with you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.